Aboriginality to me means that you know who you are, you know who your people are, what nation, language group you're from, you have a connection to that country, and you have a connection to your mob, and they accept you as Aboriginal.
Yep.
Wow, I wake up every day and I'm a Murrawari woman living in contemporary Australia.
Mm-hmm.
So I wake up every day and my people come from northwest New South Wales, southeast Queensland,
Yeah.
and I live in Australia as it
Yeah.
is today. I've never pretended to be anything else. I've been really lucky to have grown up to be Aboriginal and really proud of it. And I try and practice decolonising my mind, body and spirit every day. And also, as the oldest conservationist in the world, I try to sustain and look after the landscape around me.
Yep. So you obviously express it all the time because it's always with you.
Yeah. I'm the General Manager of Gadigal Information Service Aboriginal Corporation, and which incorporates Koori Radio 93.7 FM.
Okay. So what does that involve, like with your job?
With my job?
Yeah.
I'm the person that does all the administration work for the organisation. I make sure that funding applications are in and reports and acquittals are done. I make sure that we have our policy is up to date with the business standards around Australia, of what the government requires of legislation. So making sure all our compliances are on track, and insurances and cover. What do you call it? Yeah, insurance cover. Yeah.
So you're like you're probably the big woman here.
Yeah. I'm the big boss here,
Yeah.
and I have two managers that report directly to me: the financial controller, business development coordinator, and the receptionist.
Okay, that's a lot.
Well, unlike young people today, we grew up in a time. Well, I grew up in a time that goal setting and that was not even discussed, let alone encouraged or thought about. So I've worked my entire life being directed to jobs by my creator. Bayami shows me which way to go and where to go, and by listening to the land, you're listening to Bayami. It's all in one. So that's how I got to this job. And at one part of my journey in my life, I did a course at UWS Nepean called Theatre Theory and Practice, because I started off in dance.
Wow, that's interesting.
And there was this great course, and I did this course, and there was an arts management component, and I said, oh wow, that's really interesting. I'd like to do that. You know, I loved all the creativity and making community theatre and stilt walking and blah blah blah, but this component really interested me, so I did the arts management.
Oh wow, that's really interesting.
Yeah,
so you just went for it.
Yeah, and wow, I finished my uni degree in 1998.
Yeah.
And I did other jobs all along the way in different arts organisations and government organisations, and it's led me to this job in 2011. I came on a secondment, 3-month secondment from the City of Sydney, Redfern Community Centre, as the Cultural Development Officer, and 3 years later I'm still here. I think I'm most proud of my children.
Oh yeah.
The way that they've grown into young adults, their values, their respect for other people, their knowledge of culture and country, and their connection to their homelands, even though they've been pretty much raised in Western Sydney. They still have a really strong connection to country. Their umbilical cords have never been severed from country. That's where their placentas are buried.
Yeah.
And then I'm proud of them as parents too, because I have 7 grandchildren.
Oh, that's a lot,
Yeah, and so and the pride I get from them and the knowledge that they have, I don't know, the drive and
They just bring
determination.
you a lot of knowledge and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah, and you know, especially with, I call them the D&T generation, digital and technology generation.
Yeah, they are.
And they teach you
Yeah.
so much. My 9-year-old granddaughter and my 5-year-old grandson are just phenomenal on gadgets. And,
Yeah.
you know, oh no, Nan, you're doing that wrong. You know, you've got to do this.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that's I'm really proud of them, and I'm proud of my achievements as a person born before the referendum, before the 1967 referendum. I've, as a young person, have achieved a great deal in my half a century lifetime.
Yeah. Wow.
That's been my inspirations,
Yeah.
you know, my mother, my grandmothers. My grandmother was my first mother. She raised me. Other women who've been really inspirational in my life are people like Auntie Esther Carroll, Auntie Edna Watson, Auntie Millie Ingram. My daughter inspires me, Yolanda Shearer, she inspires me. I get inspired by young women like Ginny Smith, who works here, and also great community leaders like Sue Pinkham and a non-Aboriginal writer that I've really come to be inspired by, Lyndon Wilkinson. Yeah. And then, of course, you've got your international women that inspire you, you know, Whoopi Goldberg and Tracy Chapman and Beyonce and all those deadly black women that inspire me. And it's 90% of black women that inspire me.
I know what you mean. Yeah. That's really good.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Dream bigger than big.
Yeah.
You know, the world's your oyster. It's only you that put blockers up. You are the block of your own. You are in control of your own destination. And if you put blockers up against yourself, then it's only you. Don't worry about what anyone else says and does.
Yeah.
Don't worry about what people think. Do what's in your heart. Follow your dream. And
just go for it.
Go for it. Yeah.
It's really good. Really good.
Gee, it means representing. I'm not just representing me. I'm representing my people, my community, and you know, whether that be the community here in Sydney or the community back home in Brianna. It's just all those little groups, my artist community, my artist family, you know, whether they be Aboriginal and non-Aboriginal artists that I've worked with over the last 30 years. That's what makes me proud, isn't it?
Yeah, so you're just representing everyone here.
Yeah. You're carrying the world on your shoulder, but you're not.
Yeah.
It's not a burden.
Yeah.
It's just a natural thing to do. And, you know, there's no I in team.
Yeah.
And that's how we grew up. We grew up as a community, as a team, you know. You did something wrong, it affects the whole community. You know, you marry somebody and that affects the whole community.
Yeah.
Somebody dies, the whole community gets affected. So my actions, what I do in my role here at Gadigal, as well as my role as a mother, as well as my role in the community, whatever my actions are, have repercussions to my community. So, yeah.
So everything you do, you feel like it has an effect on everything.
Yeah, it does. Everything's interconnected and interrelated, and sharing knowledge. I just love sharing knowledge, and I love you know, exploring options. There's not always all the time. It's not always yes or a no or a black and white answer. If you explore your options, then you've got a choice.
Yeah.
And it's up to you to make those choices. And hell, I've made some really bad choices in my life, but you know, that's where you learn.
Yeah.
And that's where you grow. And it's when you keep making that same negative choice and you don't grow and you don't learn that you don't move forward.
Yeah.
We had this thing at uni there's a group of us doing all different courses, and we were a minority group, and we used to say, when we'd feel down, we'd say, no, we're BBESWs, beautiful, black, sexy womanses, and be proud of that, you know, and go for gold.
Yeah.
Don't settle for second best in anything in life, relationships, work, careers, you know, goals. Don't settle for second best. Go for gold.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you. That's all the questions I had.
Cool.
Thank you so much.
No worries. Thanks, Brianna.